Hello friends, my name is Gautam and you're watching the part 4 of the tutorial series of making a advanced login system in PHP and MySQL. So basically in this part we will add users to our login system. So in the last part I have created my table in our database, that is users login, a table called as users. I have created 7 fields, namely ID, username, first name and email, activation code and active. So in this tutorial I will be creating the register page, and secondly I will create the PHP script to add users. So let me open my notepad++ code editor. So after that I will click on new and click on save as, and go to my directory of exam, and after that I will be searching the directory of htdocs. This is, after that we have created this directory user login. So in that I will create my index.php file. So first of all I will create the registration page. So doc type html. So this is some basic stuff that you know in HTML. The head tag. So in the head tag I will give a title. First of all I will include the style sheet. Type is equal to text/css, and in the href attribute I will be giving the location. So I will be creating this style.css later on in this tutorial. So after that I will be giving a title. Let's suppose login registration system. Close the title. After that begin the body tag. Close the HTML. So in the body tag I need a button. So it will navigate to login.php, which I will create later on. So let me give it a name of sign in. So in this, by clicking this button, users will be going to sign in into our website. So just close this anchor tag. So I will enclose this all in a button, and I will be giving this button a class of login button, and so that's all. Let me give it a type attribute of submit. So that's all I need. So after that we will create a div and give it a ID of section. So in that div we will create our form. First of all give it a heading of sign up form. Close the h1 tag, and after that I will create my form. Method will be of post and action. So action attribute tells what, after clicking the button, which script will be called. So I will need to go to the same page, that is index.php. So in the same page I will handle this form. So the action will be assigned to index.php. So just close the form tag. So in the form tag I will be having 4 fields, that is name, username, email and password. First of all, input type is equal to text. Name attribute will be used in the PHP script for processing. So in order to access this field I will be assigning a name attribute. So let's suppose I give it a name of name, and placeholder, let's suppose name. Another input field is there of username. Let me give it a placeholder of username, and again an input field of email now. So type will be email. So name attribute is also email. Let me give it a placeholder also email. And the last field is of password. So type will be of password, name will be password, and the placeholder will be password. So lastly, I need a button. Type will be of submit, and let me give it a name of submit, and just give it a label of sign up, and close this button. So my register page is ready, so just save it. And in order to open this, just go to the browser and type localhost user login index.php. So as you can see here, our form is ready. It is not looking nice because we have not applied the style sheet. So just create style sheet, click on new, save as style.css. So in the style sheet, first of all, I need a background color in body. So in hexadecimal form it is E62739, and let me make the heading color white, and text align should be of center. So let me now style the div section. There is section. So I am accessing the ID. So the hash symbol comes and followed by the name of the ID. So text align property will be used to align the content to center. And another property, background color, I also want to give 30032, and let me give a height of, let's suppose, 450 pixel, and a width of, let's suppose, 400 pixel. Let me give a margin of auto to center the section for us, and let me give a border radius of 5 pixel. So it will be giving a border radius around the edges, some radius, and also some border 2 pixel, solid, and the color will be white. And let me give some margin from the top as well of, let's suppose, minus 15 pixel. So let me save this and view it into my browser, how it is looking right now. So basically you can see here it is looking nice now. So let me style it one more. Let me style the input fields for us. So first of all, I want to change the display property of the input fields to block, so it will align properly. And let me give a margin of also auto to centering. Let me give some padding also, some space between the contents in the input fields, and let me give some margin from the top, 25 pixel, and let me give a width of, let's suppose, 50%, and a height of 30 pixel. Let me eliminate the border by writing border 0 none, so it will eliminate all the border around the input fields. So that's it. So let us see how it is looking right now. So as you can see here, it is looking nice now. So let me now style the button for us. Let me give a margin from the top 25 pixel. Let me give a width of 54% and a height of 37 pixel and a background color of hexadecimal, that is 4285F4. So let me save this. So this will style my button for us. So as you can see here, it is styled. So I need to style this sign in button. So for styling this, I just want to target the class of login button. So to target the class, we are using the dot operator. So for this class, I have a background color of, let me give a background color of black and a color of white. Let me give a width of, let's suppose, 100 pixel and margin from the left 1240 pixel. So this will style my sign in button for me. So as you can see here, my sign up form is ready. So one thing is missing from it. I want to change these fonts. These fonts are not looking pretty. So in order to change it, so just go to Google and type Google fonts and choose any of the fonts that you like. So basically I need to choose one font. So let me choose this font. So let me choose this font. So in order to choose this font, just click the plus icon and after that go to the import option and copy this whole. Control C and paste it at the top of your style sheet. So before body, just paste it whole and after that copy this also, font family, wherever you want to apply this. Use the following CSS rules to specify these families. So wherever you want to apply this, just apply this, paste, and in the input fields I also want to apply this, paste, in the button also, paste. So let me save this and view it. It will look nice now. So as you can see here, my registration form is ready. So I want to now move on to the PHP script part. So let me make my PHP script. So PHP script is written in these quotes, that is smaller than symbol, then question mark, PHP, and then question mark, then greater than sign. So in these blocks I will write my PHP code. So first of all, I would like to declare a variable of error. So this variable will generally hold my error. If any error take place, I will be assigning the error into this variable and printing it out. So after that, I would be, first of all, in order to connect to the database, I will need a connection.php file. So let me create it. So in the lib folder, library folder, I will be assigning it. Let me call it a connection.php file. So basically this file will contain the connection to the database. So let me assign a variable con, and a function is there in MySQL, that is MySQL I connect. So it will basically connect to the database. So it will take 4 arguments. First argument will be the host. So host here is localhost. So if you are not there on localhost, you will provide the full web server address here. The second thing is the username. So my username is root. For all exam packages, the default username is root. And the third parameter is the password. So the default password for XAMPP is no password, so it will be empty. The fourth parameter to be passed in this MySQLi connect function is the database name. So whatever you have named your database, you will be assigning into this. So let me check my database by going to the admin. So my database name is user login. So I will be writing here user login, and then so this is the function. So I can provide a die function also, where I can provide a error message, that is the connection to the database cannot be made. So this die function will run if your connection has been failed to the database. If your connection cannot be made to the database, then this message will be printed, and the die function here means that the PHP script will not run after that. So this is useful die function. So let me save this and include it into my index.php. So before that, I need to check if the submit button has been clicked by the user or not. That is, this sign up button is clicked by the user or not. In order to check this, we have a function in PHP that is set. So is set, and in the argument I will provide my, that is this name variable of submit. So button have a name variable of submit. So I access this name variable by $post submit So here $post is a global array in PHP. So in the form itself we have mentioned the method, that is post. So we are transferring our information, our form information, by the method post. So basically, if I wanted to access any of these values, I will access by the global post array. So it is telling me right now, if the submit button has been clicked by the user, then perform these steps. So first of all, I have declared the error variable, and I have assigned it nothing. So after that, I will be including my file of connection. So include function is there in PHP. So it is located in the library folder and connection.php. So after this, I will be checking if all the fields are entered by the user or not. So to check if all the fields have been entered by the user or not, we have a function in PHP of empty. So empty $post, then I can provide the name of the variable, that is name, username, email and password. So let me provide the name, that is name, and a OR condition, empty username, then OR empty $post email, then OR empty password. So I have provided this if statement. So if in this if statement, it consists of 4 empty functions. So it is basically telling to me right now that if any of these conditions is true, that is if any of the fields are left empty by the user, do not perform these steps. So if all the fields have been filled by the user, then only just perform these steps. So after this, we have declared these empty functions. That is, if any of these conditions evaluates to true, then we need to assign a error message, some user-friendly error message, that is, please enter all the details first. So after that, if the user has entered all the details, then we need to process the data that is coming from the user. So for this, we are using 3 different functions. So let me show you the code for this. So I have initialized my variables, that is name, username, password and email, and I have applied 3 functions to it. First function is MySQLi escape string, and this take 2 arguments. First of all, the connection variable, and the second one is the actual string that needs to be escaped. In this case, I have passed another function to it, filter var. So filter var is another security function of PHP which filters out, which have different filters. These are the filters: filter, sanitize, stripped, filter, validate, email. So you can read in PHP manual, there are different kinds of filters for filtering out data. And the last function is strip tags. So strip tags, from the name itself, it is used to strip out different tags of HTML. For example, if the user has entered into the input field, let's suppose a script tag, so this will eliminate all the tags that are present in the input field. So these are the functionality of all these functions. So you can read more in the PHP manual. So these are basically the security to secure our data that are coming straight away from the user. So at the end of the day, we are going to just adding this data to our database. So this prevent SQL injection attacks from users. So after that, we need to hash our password. So for hashing our password, I will declare another variable, hash password, and a function is there in PHP, hash. It takes 2 arguments. First argument is the hashing algorithm. In this case, we will use SHA 256 and comma the actual password that needs to be hashed. It is password. So after that, we need to generate a activation code. So let me show you what do we mean by activation code. So in our database, we have 7 fields: ID, name, email, activation code. So activation code will be necessary in the situation when we send the user the activation email, by which the user should activate his account by clicking on the link. So activation code is necessary for that purpose. So I will discuss in the later tutorials what is the use of activation code, but how to generate it, it is very simple. Just use the hash function, same SHA256, and to generate randomness into it, I will be using the rand function of PHP and the 0 to 1000. So these are the minimum and the maximum values. So random values will be generated between 0 and 1000 every time, and it will be hashed by SHA256 algorithm, and every time a user registered to the website, a unique activation code will be generated. So after that, we need to check 2 more conditions, that is, if the username already existed and if the email already existed. So if the user has entered a username that is already existed in our database, then we need to provide an appropriate error message. For that, first of all, we need to check it. So for that, I will write a simple SQL statement. It is select star from users, that is table, where username is equal to the entered username of user. As simple as that. After that, I need to execute this result MySQL query. So this takes two arguments, con variable and the SQL. So if MySQL num rows result is greater than 0, then we can assign a error username already exists. So this line basically means that MySQL num rows is a function in PHP which returns the number of rows that is returned by the query. So if the number of rows is greater than 0, then we know that a username is present. So we can provide a appropriate error message that is username already exists. Same the process will be there for email. So just copy the code and paste it and just replace username with email, and here also, and the error message will be and email already exists. So we will append it, that is appended by the dot symbol. Why we are appending it? Because in case both of the situation evaluates to true, then the error message will become that is username already exists and email already exists. So that is why I am using this appending operator. So after that, if none of the condition evaluates to true, then we know that the entered email and username is unique and we need to add it to our database. So for that, I will apply a condition, that is if empty error. So this condition basically ensures that it says that if the error variable which we have declared in top of our script is empty, then we can safely say that these two conditions at the top evaluates to false, because error message does not get initialized. So if that is the case, then we can safely insert values to our database. So I can write a query of insert into table name users, then I can write column names, that is name, username, email, activation code and password, values in single quotes, just close this, and in the name I will write name, email, activation code, name, email, activation code. The order needs to be remain constant, that is after name we have username. So I need to insert here username, comma, email, activation code and then password. So this completes our query. So in order to run this, just MySQL query con variable and SQL. So if it evaluates to true, then we can safely say we can initialize another success variable, that is your details have been added, or simply you are successfully registered. So let me declare on the top success variable also, and now I can simply append this after the button. So let me write if is set error, then simply echo error variable and let me make a span tag, style it simply and give it a color of white. To style it simply, and same for success. Just replace it by success. So these two lines simply mean that if the variable error has been set, so we can safely say that there are some problems and the appropriate error message will be printed in the span tag. And similarly, if the success message has been set, that is, if the success variable has been set, that is, you are successfully registered, then simply this value will be printed in the span tag. So this completes our script. So let me save this and view it into my browser. So let me type a name Gautam, username Gautam, and type a valid email. That is, this is my valid email, and let me type a password of 123456 and click this sign up button. So as you can see here, this message is printed, you are successfully registered. So let me refresh my this database. You can see here entry has been added with ID number 7, name is Gautam, email is sharmagautam1997 dob@gmail.com. A unique activation code has been generated, username is again Gautam, and the password has been hashed by this hashing algorithm, and the active is equal to 0 because this email address is not been activated, so the default value is 0. So basically, in order to get this on the next line, I can simply type a break tag, 2 break tags, so you can see that. So let me again refresh this. Gautam. If I try to sign up without entering any details, you can see here it is prompting me, please enter all the details first. So the error message is working. So if I try to insert Gautam again, username with the same email address, it will be giving me an error. So as you can see here, username already exists and email already exists. So all the errors have been working. So this completes our tutorial. So in the next tutorial, I will be starting the tutorial in which I will be guiding you how to make the email activation script working. So in the next tutorial, we will be sending an activation email to our user so they can activate their account. So that will be the next tutorial. So bye guys, I will be seeing you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.